You know when you have a cold and you're not quite sure where it came from, and you're not even really sure what the symptoms are, but all you know is that like your head hurts and you feel really tired and you're in a really terrible mood with everyone around you, and the only thing you really actually want to do is lie in bed and not think at all. Yeah, that's what I've got going on, except it's all up here. So if you're not familiar with what mental illness feels like, imagine like you have a cold, but it's all in your brain. All of those nasty feelings and lack of motivation, it's all in here. I don't think I have ever gone through a period of time where I have liked the way that my body is that's lasted longer than a couple of days. I definitely have good periods and I definitely have good days where I'm like, hell yeah, I can take on the world. But more often, and specifically at the moment, I can barely even really look at myself in a mirror without feeling bad. Even now, sitting here, I can feel the little voice at the back of my head telling me to push my shoulders back so that my torso looks smaller, because I have a ridiculously unhealthy obsession with being small and appearing small and feeling small, and as an 11 stone girl who is 5'9", doesn't really tend to work out. Not to say that 11 stone or 5'9" is a bad thing. This is my problem. I have excessive love and respect for everybody else's bodies, but as soon as it comes to mine, I have absolutely no compassion for myself. I catch myself obsessing over how I look pretty much every day. Most of the time it's negative. I do have good days. But for the most part, it's me picking at all the tiny things that no one else even fucking notices. Because, ugh, brain. If you did happen to watch my April Rag, you will have seen that me and my family went on holiday recently, and as someone who really dislikes the way that they look, being on a yoga retreat in Ibiza surrounded by incredibly sporty and gorgeous people was not the greatest, and I did have a small breakdown because I couldn't handle that. But funnily enough, it turned out to be a kind of very effective immersion therapy, because here's the thing about human brains. If you are put in a room with the thing that you are scared of the most, for example spiders, if you are put in a room filled with spiders, your brain can only freak out and panic and be in immense fear for so long. It's not a state that can be maintained forever, because we just don't have the hormones and the chemicals to be able to sustain that. So eventually you have to calm down. You have to come into a place of, oh, actually, it's okay, I'm still alive, and all of that panic and anxiety has to go away. It has to. It just biologically is impossible for it to stick around forever. So that's why after the second day, and after I had a little cry and I felt so ugly and ashamed and horrible, I actually came to a bit of a revelation of who the fuck cares? But for real. The only reason I feel the way that I feel is because of rich old white men who sit at the top of like H&M and Topshop and all of these companies that plaster thin white bodies everywhere and make those into the ideal. They are the reason why I feel so rubbish about myself. It's not actually anything to do with me. It's just the world and the way that I've been conditioned to see people. I love people's bodies. I love celebrating the difference in people's bodies. If I saw someone with the same kind of hips that I have, the same boob size, the same kind of anything, I wouldn't stand there and go, oh god, no, that's really ugly. No, of course not, because I'm a nice person and I like celebrating the things that people are gifted with when they are born, because it's really fucking cool that we're even alive, let alone like walking around and thinking things. It only matters as much as I say it does. And yes, it's difficult to combat that when my entire brain is telling me that it's the most important thing that I look small and petite and that I fit in with these tiny, gorgeous women who I see everywhere who just aren't me. That's just not what I look like. And the fact that saying that is having this reaction shows how deep-rooted the insecurity and the self-hatred is, because my brain is like fully rejecting what I'm saying right now. I'm fine. This body is fine. And that's a lot better than some people have. So I should be grateful and just get on with it. Just get on with it. Go and love people, because that's the most important thing. And you know what? If I say that enough times, I will believe it, because I have to. Because I can't continue like this, because it is unsustainable, let's say. I really, really, really didn't want to cry in that one, but my body disagreed, which seems to be a running theme at the moment. Please remember that you are more than the things that you don't like about yourself, and to other people you're incredible because you're alive, which is the craziest miracle of them all, and I'll be okay. Just gotta get over it, haven't I? Yeah. Okay. Alright. See you later.